All righty, let's get ready to cook, everybody. Good morning. Today is October 1st, Cybersecurity Awareness Month. This is episode 970 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger. And if you are looking to stay up to date on the top cyber threat intelligence news and make that information actionable so you can deliver cyber risk reduction more effectively for your business stakeholders, and level yourself up as a cybersecurity professional so you can be the CEO of you and take the jobs that you want, then you're in the right place. Welcome to the party, pal. We do this every single weekday morning alongside all my friends from the Simply Cyber community like Devin Grady, Phil Stafford, Kuda Chimera, Gary Sturgiotis, Elliot Matisse, Carrie, Augusta Delgado, and so many more. We're out here every day putting in the work, crushing it, so we can be inclusive, supportive, and empower you to kick as much butt as you are interested in doing. Coffee cup cheers to everybody. We are off and running. Now, I want you to know every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, including this one, I do not research or prep for. Do you know why?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
That's right. Ain't nobody got time for that. On top of that, every episode is worth half a CPE. So if you are carrying these cybersecurity certifications that require continuing education, then may I suggest getting after it. Whoa, Fleetus posting the third, dropping gifted subs. That came in hot, Fleetus. Thank you very much, Fleetus, posting the third. So if you're one of the 10 members who are picking up those gifted subs like Melanin Queen Chi and Ganja Dragon, excuse me, Bearded Ruckus, may I recommend you go down into the squad, into the emote tray next to your chat and check out those new squad emotes. You can drop your Oprah emote first and foremost just to kind of warm yourself up and also to say thank you to Fleetus posting the third for that gifted sub. Guys, every episode's half a CPE. That's 120 possible a year. The show's an hour long, so you might be like, why isn't it a full CPE? Well, we have some fun. We goof around, but we do at least 30 minutes of true right-on brand cybersecurity education. I am a qualified instructor. This is an instructor-led webinar. We just don't call it that because that sounds boring and basic, and we're not either of those things. It's Worldwide Wednesday. We're going to be going around the world in just a hot minute before we get into the news, just so we can show each other where we're from, what we're doing, and that this Simply Cyber community is massive and all about good times. Hashtag Team SC in chat if you know what I'm talking about. And finally, if today's your first episode, well, welcome to the party, pal. October 1st, Cybersecurity Awareness Month. You picked a hell of a time to get in on this action. Drop a hashtag first timer in chat. Hashtag first timer in chat so we can welcome you properly. Hashtag first timer in chat. If it's your first time, guys, before we get into it, let me say holla, 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 and shout out to the stream sponsors. I can't do it alone. I need support, and they always come in gangbusters, starting with Barricade Cyber Solutions. Their Fortify 365 solution. Go to fortify365.com today, and you can get engaged with Eric Taylor and Justin Gold and the team over at Barricade. Why would you want to do that? Well, they're known for incident response, but did you know that the Fortify 365 solution can help you properly configure your M365 instance? So if you're running Microsoft 365 for your infrastructure, right? You got Exchange Online Protection, Azure, you got some of these things, maybe a Defender for endpoint. I don't know what you got. I don't know. But I do know if there's a lot of configuration, conditional access, for example, that you can implement and configure to be more secure. And if you're not doing that, if you just signed up or whoever IT signed up and you just went with the gold, the vanilla basic configuration, you are taking on risk that you don't need to. Go to fortify365.com today. Get sorted out immediately. Don't let today's threats be tomorrow's problems. Also want to say what's up to Anti-Siphon Training. Anti-Siphon Training disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry, making just really great, valuable resources available for everybody, regardless of financial position. Wild West Hackin' Fest right around the corner. Still time to get in on the virtual training for Wild West Hackin' Fest. Anti-Siphon's website's confusing me, so I can't really show you Wild West Hack and Fest virtual training. I would like to, but here we go. Course calendar. Maybe we could do it this way. Okay. Whoa. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this meat stack. This looks like, you know that there's, I think it's In-N-Out Burger. There's one of the, not In-N-Out, one of these burger restaurants. You can put like N patties on it, like X amount of patties. There's a place in on the Vegas Strip over by Link that you can do this. You could get like a 75 patty burger. Okay, that's what this looks like now. This looks like a hamburger menu gone next level. All right. This is all training available at Wild West Hack and Fest. There's still time to sign up for virtual training. Go to anti-training.com. Check it out. Their live training calendar is right here. Giddy up, giddy up. All right. Real quick note from ThreatLocker. Always appreciate what they're doing. Let's hear from ThreatLocker. I'll be jamming with you in chat. And when we get back, we're going to go around the world, friends. I can't wait. I hope you're excited too. Let's cook. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com/dailycyber. All right, we are here. Here we go. Let's cook, everybody. All right, hold on. Let's definitely get the copyright. And by the way, if you're watching this on replay, it's going to get cut out because I have to cut out the Daft Punk stuff. But if you're here live, you're about to do this. Oh, my God. It's that time. It's that time. Every Wednesday, regular folks and first-timers, every Wednesday, we go around the world. This community is flipping awesome. I love the Simply Cyber community, and I love how unbelievably diverse, international, inclusive we are, and every Wednesday we actually make it a point to demonstrate it. So let's do that right now. I'm going to set the timer to 2 minutes, 22 seconds. And then we're going to go around the world. You get to watch me flail at trying to fill this map out. Worldwide Wednesday is brought to you by Simply Cyber Academy. Oh my God, what? What? Are we doing this right now? Simply Cyber Academy, bringing you amazing education at ridiculous prices in a good way. And we just launched this complete pen test plus with Daniel Lowry. Holy crap, the reception's been amazing. If you'd like to check out a free video to see Daniel's style and what the course is all about, you can click right here, right now. Thank you, Daniel Lowry, and thank you all. All right, let's go. 2 minutes, 22 seconds. Get ready to tell me where you're at. Here we go. Yes, sir. We are off and running. Go. All right. Omatola Agbana is in Canada. Roswell, UK. It's kind of implied he's in the UK. Who's in the United States? Tamika Chang. Dirty Jersey, bringing on the United States. I love it. I love it. I love it. Priceless Pancakes. Maryland. Brews and Hacks is in the house. Simply Cyber Academy is so hot right now.
It's so hot right now.
Niagara, Canada. What's up? Kuda Chimera bringing Zimbabwe into the conversation. Heck yeah. Zimbabwe. Boom. Landlocked. Toronto's in the hizzy. Thank you, Hooey Booey. Turkey. Chris Rock is online. What's up, Chris? Boom, Turkey. Love it, love it, love it. Ethiopia, Medine G. We're East Coast, Africa. Detroit is in the house. Minneapolis. What's up, Steve Young? As always, Arkansas. Jamaican me crazy, Damien. I love that joke. That's such a dad joke. Jamaica's in the hizzy. Okay, let's back out. Texas is in the house. I love it. Sierra Leone, Komra Bai. Sierra Leone. All right, love it. Denver's in the house. Thank you, Raleigh. We got the Raleigh Triangle. Texas is the bestest. Warren, Michigan. We got the upstate New York in the house. Ramen bringing the Asia online with Bangladesh. Where's our Australia, everybody? Come on, Australia. Where are you at? Richard Duff, Funky Monk. Let's get up. Tanzania. I know where that is now. I will never fail that. Where in the world is Carmen San Diego final round? Drink. Denver, Colorado, Huntsville, Alabama in the hizzy. I love it. San Jose, 03 or 0x3 security. Thanks for getting up early with us today. Shizzle mine is Tejas. Romania, Dragos, always in the his. Here we go. Where's Romania? There it is. Love it, love it, love it. Switzerland. Switzerland. Hold on. Why is Switzerland tough for me? Isn't Switzerland over by Germany? Hold on 1 second. I feel like Switzerland I should just nail. There it is. Boom. All right. Australia, there's Funky Monk. Yes, sir. All right. See? Chris Rock, Australia is represented. Did we get South America? Really quick. Did we get South America? I saw Kenya. South America. South America. Where are you, South America? Andres Molina. Dude, we always have some Colombia. We always have a little bit of Colombia in here. We got a first timer, Susan Connor. Welcome to the party, Susan. All right. I guess we did not. I guess we didn't do it. I'm looking at you, South America. Come on, man. Colombia, you guys always bring the heat. All right. All right. Well, hey, you know what? We did a pretty good job. All right. We got North America, Africa in spades, Europe in spades, a little Asia, and definitely Australia in the house. Oh, Christian Ocampo. See, I figured if we just kind of like slow played it out of here, we'd get it. Ladies and gentlemen, we just went around the world. Let's go. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so very much, everybody. Good job. But like everything else, it's fun to play. Hold on. Italy's here. It's fun to play. It's fun to have good times, but it's also time to work. So do me a favor, everyone. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. I will see you at the mid-roll.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Wednesday, October 1st, 2025.
Hey, so we had a power outage yesterday. Internet was down. I just turned the podcast music up, and I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it go up in my ear. So let me know, mods and community. Everything looks correct. So let me know.
I'm Sarah Lane. China-linked group hits governments with stealth malware. Palo Alto Networks' Unit 42 says a new China-linked hacking group, Phantom Taurus, has spent the past 2 years targeting governments and telecoms across Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. The group focuses on ministries of foreign affairs, embassies, defense, and geopolitical events, using a custom .NET malware suite called NetStar. Researchers say that Phantom Taurus operates with stealth and persistence, using time stomping and advanced evasion to enable long-term intelligence collection for China's interests.
All right.
All
right. So a couple things here. Number one, I say it all the time. It's not going to change until further notice. If you were like wanting to be great at espionage, you would study China. Like they are, other countries are good at espionage. China, like that's their forte, right? It's like having like a good left-handed pitcher in the bullpen. Like, if you need this service, they're the ones to go to. China's crushing it. This, Phantom Taurus, that's another one I haven't heard of, but it's been kicking around for a couple years, and they're targeting Africa, Middle East, and Asia, which is, half the world. Couple things that's interesting to me right off the rip. Now they are targeting embassies, foreign affairs, military operations, so kind of like nation state level entities. I find it interesting only because it's interesting to me that they're being so diversified. China has been doing this Belt and Road Initiative or something. Yeah, Belt Road Initiative. Listen, this isn't like conspiracy theory or like some type of hot take I got. China's been doing this Belt and Road Initiative for quite some time, where they've been working on developing infrastructure, like real infrastructure in helping develop African countries, and it doesn't show it here, but they've been getting up in South America's business too. I've seen some documentaries on what they're doing in Guyana, for example. Okay, so my whole thing is that they're dumping tons of money into Africa, so they have, you know, basically soft power is what it's called, soft power. So I don't know why they need to commit espionage on these entities. They could just say, give us what we want, or we'll just take our money away. Which is what soft power is. Anyways, they're getting after it. China's been making a pretty strong play to kind of, you know, be a world leader, and espionage gives them access to data and information. PA Unit 42 is the group that discovered this and has written the report up. As most people know, Unit 42 is a phenomenal threat intelligence group out of Palo Alto. I know several of us know that people that work at Unit 42 and how you know, really, really good they are. Chris Rock chimes in, Tehran to Beijing, oil via train to avoid the Gulf. Yep, there you go. There's another. I mean, it's all part of a long play in order to have global influence and be able to honestly have China not be beholden to other countries for certain things like the Panama Canal, for example. All right. This is like a big 4D chess 25-year plan, which is definitely outside the scope of this show and what this show's focus is. I'm trying to help you be a better cyber professional. This is, you know, but we should take note of this because it helps inform our thoughts around this. This group was first identified in 2023 during a campaign called Operation Diplomatic Spectre. You know, they got after it. Here's the deal. If you work in, I mean, really in lots of industries, if you work in higher ed and you do academic research, if you work in pharmaceuticals and you do research, if you work in manufacturing and you've got technology advancements like, you know, weapon systems or military capabilities, you are a potential target for these threat actor groups. So best practices as always. Again, and the final thing I'll say is we live in this world right now where like we can straight up attribute a hacker group attacking countries, right? I mean, just look at the friggin' title. China-linked hacker group hits governments. And this is like, it's a Wednesday. You know what I mean? Like, this is not starting global geopolitical conflicts. Like, it's to me, it's wild. Like, just to think about that for a minute, that like, this is not considered a bridge too far for a country to do and have, you know, basically no repercussions. All right, let's keep cooking.
These hackers exploit VMware 0-day since October 2024. Broadcom patched a high-severity VMware ARIA operations and VMware tools vulnerability that had been exploited in 0-day attacks since October of 2024 by UNC 5174, a Chinese state-linked threat actor. The flaw allowed unprivileged local attackers to gain root-level access on VMs. The US, the UK, and Asian institutions have previously been attacked through multiple exploits, often selling access to networks. Broadcom also recently fixed other VMware 0 days, including 2 NSX flaws reported by the NSA and 3 earlier ARIA tools bugs.
All right.
Apple's
couple things really quick. First of all, what's up? Sweet Scriptures for Kids was listening on Spotify, now here in the fold of YouTube's live stream. Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
All right, so check it out. I'm actually kind of curious. How many, hold on. I'm going to start a poll right now. Please only vote if this applies to you. Did you migrate off VMware post Broadcom? So Broadcom, just, this is a, please only answer this if you did, if you have a, if this qualifies to you. Basically, Broadcom acquired VMware and changed all the licensing. A lot of people were losing their mind for good reasons, right? I'm just kind of curious what the impact is, whether you just said, F it, go get more budget, or if you migrated to Proxmox or something. Okay, So Chinese hackers, again, China's up in the news, exploiting VMware 0-day for over a year. And it's October 2025. So these guys have been going gangbusters. The CVE that they're exploiting was not even discovered until 2025. So they definitely had a legit 0-day. Couple things. Number one, this is basically a priv-esque vulnerability. So when we're talking about the cyber kill chain, there's initial infection and then there's privilege escalation, lateral movement. There's all these elements to it. This means that the threat actors are able to get on the box first and then do privilege escalation. So, if you are as a practitioner, if you are running Broadcom and you're concerned about this, number one, you can go threat hunting in your environment to see if you've got unusual accounts running around on the box itself, because they need an unprivileged account, or you have some type of unauthorized access or something like that. I don't know what the IOC is for the privilege escalation. There probably is one. Hold on, let me see if there's we're looking at this 2025 41244. It's only rated a 7.8, which is not nothing, but it's less concerning. Hold on, I'm kind of curious here. Indicators of compromise, because you got to patch it first of all, right? You got to patch it. You got to patch it, but then typically it's a good idea to go threat hunting to see if you are been compromised. Let's see if there is an IOCs here. Stand by. I don't research or prep for these shows, so this is just SOC Radar trying to sell their stuff. All right. I mean, this is a nice little write-up. It's not clear to me if you can tell if this thing's been compromised. All I would say is if someone gets into your VMware, which is your hypervisor, your VM infrastructure screwed, okay? You definitely don't want people getting in there. So, be on the mind of this. Obviously, if it doesn't need to be internet facing, don't make it internet facing. And yeah, connect with your IT counterparts and make sure that this thing is sorted out. I ran a little poll here a minute ago. Did you migrate off? 74% said no, 26% said yes out of 58 votes. So looks like Broadcom, I guess, made a good investment because people didn't abandon it despite a lot of the hype. Like Flava Flav said, don't believe the hype. Drink.
iOS fixes a bevy of glitches. Apple released iOS 26.0.1, fixing Wi-Fi and cellular glitches on iPhone 17, photo artifacts, voice-over failures, and blank icons with custom tints. The update also patches a font parser vulnerability that could let attackers corrupt memory via malicious fonts. iPadOS, macOS, watchOS, tvOS, and visionOS have all received bug fix updates, with iOS 26.1 expected later in October. Cyber attack on...
All right. So, your Apple iPhones, they get patches just like, every other piece of technology. I will say, I don't know about you, but like, I use Apple iPhone. I mean, it patches itself while I sleep. It's fine. This is a Wi-Fi glitch. Hold on 1 second. All right, so all these this patch iOS 26 fixes a lot of glitches. It does say it fixes one security bug. Most of these glitches seem more related to like a denial of service attack, right? Like your wireless cuts out Your cellular cuts out, right? Whatever. Like annoying for sure, but not necessarily, you're not rolling out the disaster recovery plan because your phone drops off wireless. It could impact business meeting or something, but whatever. Patch your stuff. It is October, Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Great opportunity to remind people to patch their things. How can I make this beneficial to all of you? Let me tell you. When you are trying to get people to patch their stuff, especially their own individual endpoint devices, like their phones, tablets, watches, etc., stuff like that, don't like cyber practitioners, me, you, Alice Grimm, Funky Monk, we love ourselves some cybersecurity. I bathe in cybersecurity. I normally shower, but occasionally once a month I'll pour a nice hot steamy bath of cybersecurity, and I'll slide in there, light some candles, and just let the aroma of vulnerability management kind of waft in the air. But my Aunt Dorothea and your boss and other people who work at the business, they don't give a damn about any of that stuff. Okay. So in order to entice them, in order to compel them in a kind way, don't tell them about the 0 days. Tell them about the cool features that they're going to get. Yo, did you know iOS 2601 comes with a new emoji keyboard? My kid would eat that up. Did you know that you can get faster wireless if you upgrade to iOS 26? Now, that's not entirely true, but with a grain of truth in it, right? Because if there's a glitch that means your wireless can go down, that means your wireless speed is 0. And when you upgrade to 26, your wireless speed would be not 0, therefore faster. So I think I can make a compelling logical argument that that's not a lie. TLDR, sell the features, not the fixes. And they can't take the feature and not take the security patch. Okay, that's what's up. Let's cook.
Asahi disrupts production. Asahi Group said a cyber attack disrupted its Japan operations, causing system failures that halted orders, shipments, call centers, and production at some of its 30 domestic factories. The company is investigating and restoring systems, but did not give a recovery timeline. No personal data leaks have been confirmed. With nearly 40% market share in Japan, the disruption is expected to be costly for Asahi and resellers.
All right. So this is if you've been to like a Thai restaurant or a Chinese restaurant, they always have like Sapporo and Asahi. Personally, like for those who don't know, I know like Scriptures for Kids, Susan, we got some first timers in chat. I'm a big craft beer guy. Love myself some beer. I actually studied to be a Cicerone, which is basically like a super beer nerd. And yeah, I mean, these beers are like whatever. Like to me, these beers are they're not good, right? But that doesn't change the fact that many people like them. But at its core, whether it's Asahi, Sapporo, or a Dogfish Head, it's a manufacturing business. Manufacturing gets pumped by threat actors all the time because there's a very clear line between. There's actually two things going on. One I always point out, and one that I don't point out. Number one, manufacturing. It's very easy for business leaders in manufacturing to see the cost per day of downtime. So when the threat actor says $200,000 and I'll give you the keys back to your environment, and the business leaders are losing $500,000 a day, it becomes a very easy decision for those business leaders to pay the threat actors. Okay. Number two, and this one you may not know. Okay. This is a little bit of a more shooting star situation. Traditionally, manufacturing, they run super lean margins, meaning that they usually only make like 1% to 3% profit. So they don't have a lot of wiggle room to absorb an unexpected expense of a serious magnitude, like lost days of revenue. So, it's part of the reason why manufacturing is so sexy for threat actors is because there's a higher chance of getting that straight cash, homie.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
Okay, yeah, manufacturing ransomware is so hot. That was a misfire. I meant straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie. Thank you, Randy. All right, let's do the mid-roll. Anyways, by the way, if you work in manufacturing, you absolutely should be doing tabletop exercises like now, like right now. Okay, and if you know, you know. I'm just making fun of that joke, that commercial. But anyways, let's keep cooking.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, Nudge Security. The SaaS supply chain is a hot mess. As your workforce introduces new SaaS apps and integrations, hidden pathways are created that attackers can exploit and gain access to core business systems. That is exactly what happened in the Drift breach, and it will happen again. But all is not lost. Nudge Security gives you the visibility and control you need to stop these attacks. Within minutes of starting a free trial, you will discover every SaaS app and integration in your environment. Map your SaaS supply chain and identify risky OAuth grants that could be exploited. The best part? Nudge Security alerts you of breaches impacting your third and fourth party SaaS providers. That's right, even fourth party. So you can take action quickly to limit the ripple effects. Learn how Nudge can help you secure your entire SaaS ecosystem at nudgesecurity.com/supply chain. Cyber law and state.
All right, we're not doing the Simple Minds for a while because of copyright license issues, but anyways, we're doing this right now. Really quick, Michael Andruzzi, the message got deleted, but I read it and I thought it was funny. He said he's got his money on the fact he thinks that my favorite beer is Boston Lager. For those who don't know, I am from Massachusetts, and occasionally, if you get a couple beers in me, my accent will come out. I do want to say thank you to the stream sponsors here at the Midroll: Barricade Cyber Solutions, Threat Locker, Anti-Siphon. Definitely appreciate what's cooking. As always, guys, I hope you enjoy it. At the Midroll, we normally do a fun activity. On Wednesdays, we do it up front. So just a quick little Midroll. But yeah, there were some questions about beer. So Jay to the Aramy says a beer I can get right now. Well, the thing is, Jay to the Aramy, and for everybody in chat, like the way that the liquor laws work in the United States, like breweries need to go through distributors. Distributors have certain regions. So I can't recommend a beer that you can go get right now unless you tell me where you are in the world, so I have an idea of what's accessible to you. I will tell you, though, for anyone who's coming to Simply CyberCon, what? Did I just casually work that into the conversation? Anybody that's coming to Simply CyberCon will be able to get what is considered my absolute number one favorite beer. Right now, this beer is so solid. Oh, giddy up on this one. Edmund's Oast, Bound by Time. It is an IPA, so I know some of you people who are cooked out on IPAs don't want to deal with this. But this beer, widely accessible, absolutely delicious, does not disappoint. So there you go. All right. Hey, by the way, looking forward to everybody next week at Wild West Hackin' Fest. We will be doing the show live from Wild West Hackin' Fest. If you would like to giddy up and be part of the live show, catch it in a live studio audience. All right, that's been the daily. I mean, that's the mid roll. Let's keep cooking and get back here.
Grants set to go dark as Congress stalls over funding.
Oh yeah, this is scary. By the way,
Cybersecurity Information Sharing Act and the State and Local Cybersecurity Grant Program are both set to expire as Congress fails to reach a funding agreement. CISA 2015 enables legal threat data sharing, while the grant provides $1 billion to states and localities for cyber defenses. Some lawmakers are warning that the expiration will reduce threat sharing and weaken cyber protections against nation state and criminal attacks, especially for smaller jurisdictions and businesses.
Yeah. So CISA, I didn't understand this. So like CISA is an agency under the Department of Homeland Security, but apparently they're funded under an act, right? So the act needs to be, the law needs to be renewed. And there's concern that it may not be renewed, which would be, to me, like, do you remember at the beginning of the year when the CVE program was like not funded for a minute and people were losing their mind? To me, losing CISA would be pretty bad. We do rely on CISA quite a bit. Known vulnerability exploited catalog, threat intelligence sharing, the ISAC, election security. Like, dude, there's a lot going on at CISA. So to defund this sounds very much like a terrible idea. On top of that, I don't think it said it in here, but I read in a news article. So I don't prep or research for these shows, but I do drink cybersecurity like it's a double IPA, like all day, every day, right? So like last night I was, cruising, looking at some cyber stuff, and I read an article about this anyways, and apparently CIS, the Center for Internet Security, like of CIS 18 controls fame, these are funded through CISA. So like CISA gets money, CISA gives money to CIS. I don't understand all the dealings and whatnot, but what I do know is if CISA goes away, I think CIS like also gets either hobbled or goes away, which is tragic because the 18 CIS controls, in my opinion, as a GRC mafia card-carrying member, the CIS 18 implementation guidance 1 is basically, a real information security program step 1, right? So like, you say you're going to go do cybersecurity. Hold on, let me go full screen. Say you're going to go do cybersecurity for someone, right? Like, yeah, you can like just kind of piece it together and figure it out. But if you're actually looking to build a program and have it maturable and be able to report and do metrics and all that other jazz, you need a framework, a plan. And the NIST CSF, like, I hope that my coffin has the NIST CSF wrapped. You know how you can wrap your cars now with like cool different screens? I want my coffin when I'm buried to be wrapped in the NIST CSF. Just a high level, just the 6 phases in the little graphic. We don't need to get into the actual controls. Just wrap my coffin, drop me in the ground. We're going to call it a day. But it's wicked hard to implement NIST CSF, especially in an immature and unfunded program. This is why CIS 18 IG1 is super delicious, because you can literally get going, have something that you can make some quick wins on, and put some friggin' cybersecurity in place at your organization. So for this to go away is kind of like, I don't know, man. It's like, it's not good. It's not good at all. I'm trying to think of like a comp for this. Imagine like a bunch of like, I don't know. Imagine like if you played sports growing up, right? Imagine that instead of training camp, you just like, you show up day 1 and it's like the middle of the season and everybody else on the other team has had months to prepare. And you're like figuring out how to do stretches. You're going to get your butt kicked. Okay. So anyways, that's all a long way to go around and point out that I believe that defunding or not renewing the funding of CISA is very bad. So I hope that they do this. It was a bipartisan renewal to reallocate funds for the Information Security Threat Intelligence Sharing Act. They renamed it. I forget what the heck they named it, but that just got renewed a minute ago or like a month ago. So I would imagine this gets renewed. Unfortunately, I think that this is going to be a lot of CISA, in my opinion. Okay, speculative hot take, okay? And Susan, Scripture with Kids. Whenever I have a hot take, if you're a squad member, you get to use the tinfoil hat, Jerry, which just basically is me saying something with an asterisk on it. unfortunately, I feel like CISA is the lightning rod of all of the government organizations that is like the most politicized one, because, it was a very left, basically it falls under Department of Homeland Security. Department of Homeland Security has reallocated a lot of funding to go towards ICE and Border Patrol and those type of things. And it like CISA's been kind of getting not a lot of love. And I suspect that it will get love, but bend the knee kind of situation. So we'll see where it goes. If it loses funding entirely, I think that that's a really unfortunate development for the overall information security for not just the United States as a federal government, but for all of us, because many of us get access to resources that are made available for free by CISA providing it. Okay. It's for the little guy. You know what I mean?
Critical MyCloud bug allows remote command injection. Western Digital patched a critical bug in multiple MyCloud NAS models that allowed remote command injection via crafted HTTP post requests. Firmware version 5.31.108 fixes the issue, but end-of-support devices like MyCloud DL2100 and DL4100 may not get updates. Exploitation could let attackers access, modify, or delete files, change configurations, or execute binaries. Users are urged to update immediately or take devices offline until patched, since unprotected NAS devices have historically been targeted for data theft, botnets, and ransomware.
All right. All right. So check it out. NAS is not to be confused with NAS, the overhyped. I throw shade at NAS all the time, and don't come at me with Illmatic. I know Illmatic is a good album. I think NAS is like a mediocre rapper at best. Anyways, we're not talking about NAS here. We're talking about NASs, network attached storage devices. They're basically private clouds. Before cloud was a word, NASs existed, and they were basically private clouds. They're like file servers for your home or your small business. If you're a large business, you have data center and you have big file servers. But in the medium space, you have these private clouds. I personally have a NAS attached to my network for this reason. It's not a WD MyCloud. You picking up what I'm putting down? So anyways, they said that this flaw allows remote command injection. So a threat actor would have to find the NAS device on a network, and then it has the ability to exploit it. Oh my God. All right. So we're going to, people want to throw hands, Travis Connor. So funny. Whenever I express my dismay for NAS, everybody, people, I get into hot arguments with people about this. I'll tell you what, I do not think NAS is top 5 rappers. Okay. Biggie, Pac. I think Eminem's excellent. Jay-Z's got good flows and rhymes. Hold on. Anyways, here's my TLDR for you. They said that this is not a critical vulnerability to enterprises and stuff, but dude, my business, for example, may not be. Hold on. I actually think I have that. I used to have that sound effect on the board. Catch me outside. My business is not a large enterprise or whatever, but if someone got into my NAS and did stuff to it, that would suck. That would be really, really bad for me. Of course, I'm a GRC dork, so monthly I back up my NAS to another NAS that I keep in a separate facility. But anyways, if you're running any of these MyClouds, definitely get it sorted out. I will say, you can make these things internet facing. If you run a Shodan scan and find a MyCloud and it's yours, you definitely want to fix it. I would recommend making this accessible via a VPN or some type of service that you have to interface through, not directly into the device from the internet, because threat actors are going to find it and then they're going to get you. If a threat actor's on your environment, and then they can find this device, they could exploit it. Let's see, is there a patch available? Yes, patch it. You gotta patch it. Is Chris Rock still in here? I want to see it. Hold on, Chris. All right, so quick question to Chris Rock in here. How often would you go after a NAS if you found it? So Chris Rock does like penetration testing, red team, stuff like that. So I'm asking him explicitly. But if you're a pen tester or a red teamer in chat, I would be curious, like, how hot is a NAS device, right?
That Hansel's so hot
right obviously
now.
It's a bunch of data and sensitive information potentially, but like if you're doing an environment scan or something like that, are you going to be like, oh, stop the presses, we found a NAS? I'd be kind of curious. All right, I'm going to take a hot minute before we do anything and see what's up with more NAS stuff. Roswell UK says, if you're running an end-of-life WD MyCloud exposed to the internet, you're not running a personal cloud. You're operating an unsecured, remotely controlled data exfiltration server. That is true and funny. All right. Okay. All right. Let's keep cooking.
Patra Trojan makes bank transfers while you sleep. An Android banking Trojan called Cleopatra has infected more than 3,000 devices in Italy and Spain, disguising itself as the defunct pirate streaming app Mobdro. The malware abuses accessibility services to gain full device control, using obfuscation techniques to evade detection. Attackers can reportedly remotely access victims' phones at night, unlocking devices, opening banking apps, and transferring funds while the screen appears to be off. Cisco Fire.
All right, really quick. The fact that you can do it at night is irrelevant, right? like I guess there's threat actors are maybe trying to do that, so it's like less likely that the RZA. I agree. I think RZA is a better producer than a rapper, but he's good. Liquid Swords is a phenomenal album. That's Jizza, but anyways, sorry, Runfish. He buffer overflowed me there. So anyways, I guess maybe the threat actors are trying to do it at night, thinking that you'd be sleeping, but like, whatever. The fact that they can, here's the deal. Yes, they can open banking apps and move money out. I think the actual, the headline here that's being buried is that the threat actors can execute stuff on your phone without the screen coming on or any visual indication to the victim. That's really, really stealthy and quite interesting. Now, again, if they are going to open a banking app and exfil, like I do think they would have to be able to authenticate or log into the banking app. So I don't know if this is actually, consistently hitting, successfully, right? I mean, obviously they could do info stealer and, get like your PIN and stuff like that. So it's not impossible, but let's see how this happens. Mobdro, which was a pirate streaming service that entertainment companies collaborated with police to bring down. And surprise, surprise, cyber attackers concealed this malware inside of the Mobdro app. So this is, for those who are following along at home, this is a Trojan malware. People were downloading. This is a great Trojan, by the way. People are downloading an app that allows them to basically do something illegal, stream entertainment that they're not paying for. So, number one, they're definitely not downloading it from the Google Play Store because it's basically enabling you to commit crime. Dude, Gangstar, epic. I love Gangstar. Full Clip is a phenomenal double album. Even Guru's individual Jazzmatazz stuff is good. Anyways, by the way, Guru from Boston, holla. Okay, this is great because first of all, you're going to be installing it, and you bypass all the securities of like Google or the Apple Play Store, screening these apps. Second of all, you're not going to report it because you're literally committing a crime. So the fact that you get Trojanized is like the threat actors have lower risk to themselves of getting caught because you're not going to disclose it. Okay. This technique is not uncommon, guys, by the way. That's why I tell people all the time, like, be careful. Be careful when you're downloading weird stuff. Like, dude, if it's a RuneScape crack, guess what? It's probably malware. Come on now. Let's look at this. This is a throwback to the Shodan WD MyCloud. 1,600 internet-facing personal NAS devices right now. So these people right here, it's not going to be a good day for you. All right.
Firewalls vulnerable to actively exploited flaws. Nearly 50,000 Cisco ASA and FTD firewalls exposed online remain vulnerable to actively exploited flaws, which allow remote code execution and access to restricted VPN endpoints without authentication. Attacks deploying the Lion Viper malware and Ray Initiator bootkit began before patches were available. The U.S. CISA issued an emergency directive requiring federal agencies to secure or disconnect affected devices, while global exposure remains high, particularly in the US, UK, Japan, Germany, and Russia. If you are going to be in New York City.
All right. So this is a follow-up. The Cisco ASA vulnerability that's being actively exploited continues to be actively exploited. News at 11. So we covered this story on Monday. TLDR, if you're running Cisco ASA devices and they're internet facing, you gotta patch it. Now, patching firewalls and, threat intelligence, like the specialized Cisco hardware blades, it's not trivial, right? You would have downtime. Hopefully you have some type of resiliency plan in place for high availability. Maybe you can patch this at night. If you are like a hospital that's 24/7, figure something out. But dudes, I'm telling you right now, if you just like let this thing slide, you're going to get popped eventually, right? Exactly. So WG says this is why CISA is important. Exactly. CISA is the one who notified federal agencies about this issue. I also want to tell you, and I'm not going to disclose anything sensitive, but I can tell you for a fact, somebody reached out to me who had this flaw in their environment and told me that they were contacted directly before it went public by the government in order to like get this thing fixed. You know what I'm saying? So like that's the service of CISA and threat intelligence sharing before it hits the street. You know what I mean? So the fact that there's still 50,000 firewalls out there, that the reason that they're able to count this number is because of Shodan, and they're able to basically just run Shodan and look. Cisco firewalls are typically for mid-size to large-size organizations. I'm a small business. I am not running Cisco ASAs. Okay. Like, again, I don't I have done consulting at small businesses like dermatologists, not clinics, but like a like 3 physician office with like 15 staff or something. And they have like, a closet, and inside the closet, it's like a sonic wall firewall. They're not running bladed Cisco ASA firewalls. So the fact that there's 50,000 out there, that's like 50,000. I mean, it could be like one organization with several, but like, let's just say conservatively, that's at least 10,000 large size organizations that are exposed. Let's get even more conservative. 1,000 large enterprises, right? If they're all running 50 ASAs, which is ridiculous. Dude, don't be that guy.
gotta patch it.
All right, let's keep cooking. All right. Hey, yo, guess what? That's the fastest hour in cybersecurity, and we just did it for all the first-timers who were here. I hope you come back. I hope you had a good time. And just as a little treat to everybody, because I get to do this every month, let's throw some gifted subs out. Holla! Some gifted subs. Let's get 5 new squad members up in this piece. Let's go. James, Katie, welcome to the party. Andy Lean, welcome to the party. Soro, welcome to the party. Jost, welcome to the party. And Ehab Khan. All right, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Don't go anywhere because we're going to switch and flip the script to Jawjack in a 30-minute AMA where I will do everything in my power to help you be even more awesome at cybersecurity. And Jerry, until next time, stay secure. Don't go anywhere. I'll take it from here. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the party. My name is Jerry Guy. I am your host for the next 30 minutes as we crack on answering any and all cybersecurity questions you got. Drop them in chat with a Q. I may look like that nerd Dr. Gerald Auger, but I'm Jerry Guy. We don't got time for academic research and rigor. We're all about partying. Let this man cook. Riker says, love your work. Thanks, Riker. Love that comment. All right, guys, let's cook. What do we got? I am ready for the questions. Quick question from Silence Poet. Thoughts on J. Cole? Just curious. And Nas is great. Your opinion is wrong. Oh, man. Hey, one of the guys I'm going on this camping trip with this weekend is I fight him every year about this Nas thing. J. Cole, I don't have an opinion on J. Cole. I'm not actually familiar with J. Cole. Oh, come on, man. Restream, you are... All right, here we go. Okay, so PSU says, what can you tell us about the upcoming and awesome episode 1000? So actually, I got to tell you guys, this is important. I've been thinking about this, okay? So number one, like, I'm not even sleeping well, okay? And I'm not saying this to like elicit sympathy or anything like that. Like, I'm not even sleeping well because of the stress that I'm currently under, because I'm literally traveling every week in October. And then the conference has been a lot of work. There's been some stress. Things are coming together. I'm getting some help, which is nice. Episode 1000 happens like right after the conference is over. So like my level of thought, episode 1000 is like fun. I'm like, I don't have time for fun right now because I'm so focused on work. Like, I can't have a conference that sucks because that would be professionally embarrassing to me. So your question about episode 1000, I've been thinking, I have an idea that I think not only can help, but also make it even more special. So let me get your thoughts on this, team. Okay. I'm fine, Alice. I'm good. Let me tell you guys, I got an idea. So on YouTube, you have the ability to clip, right? And it's like, basically you can clip like a 10-second segment, right? So if you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google YouTube clip. But because you can do these clips, what I wanted to do was kind of crowdsource from the community your favorite moments from the last, 1,000 episodes, right? So I'm going to try to set up like a Google Doc. I mean, obviously, if you want to be a peckerhead, you could delete everybody's entries, but I'm trying to figure out a way to allow people to submit their clips, their favorite clips, right? And then I can use those clips and at least assemble some type of montage, and we can have a good time. Plus, since I'm so big on community, it would actually be a community-driven effort, which is even more on brand for what we're doing here at Simply Cyber. So I think that that's a great idea. I would love everybody's thoughts in chat. I know I'm putting that work on you, but I do think that the distribution would be fine if every person found one clip. we'd have more than enough to assemble a montage and go through some stuff, right? So there's the garage episode, the spider episode, the like hotels. There is the early episodes, like guest speakers. We've had Josh Mason, Daniel Lowry, Tyler Ramsby, Eric Taylor. I think Casually Joseph did one. We've done it live. Like it just, there's a million, right? So let's go. Let me know. All right. So FedEx says we should try to change Simply Cyber. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to talk about it, I've actually have 2 thoughts on how to prevent what is happening this year from happening again. Like financially, it's actually costing me personally much more than I anticipated to have to spend. So I've got 2 solutions. We can talk about it if you guys want, but I'm trying to help people level up, not bemoan my problems. Question from Emmanuel O. How can I recover my LinkedIn account after doing the verification? I've been going through this since I shared it on here. Please help, as that has my best CV. How can I recover my LinkedIn account? I'm not sure what LinkedIn account recovery processes are. If you've done the verification, I mean, what I would do is I have to assume there's some type of like help or support function on LinkedIn. Worst case scenario, Emmanuel, you could create a new LinkedIn account. I mean, that's not awesome, but it is an option. I don't know. I haven't really done account recovery for LinkedIn. If anyone in chat knows how to do that, let me know. Oh, the Grot's been keeping some favorite moments. Ross says, I am considering asking my org to send me to a SANS leadership training. The cost is a SANS class. Yes. What are your thoughts on SANS leadership training? So I have never taken a SANS class. I've never been able to afford it. But I will say that SANS, from everything I have seen, you pay for what you get. And SANS has some amazing instructors. Okay. I would assume that their leadership training is also excellent. So, you know, again, I can't speak directly to the leadership training, but I would think that it would be excellent. Okay. So if you can get your business to send you, absolutely knock it out. Also, Ross, if you go, make sure that you take advantage of the relationship building and the networking there, because, oh, good. Hey, actually, we got some insight. A community member here has actually taken, one of the SANS leadership training courses and recommends you do not take it. So there you go. Stick to the technical training for SANS training, I guess. Thank you for weighing in on that. All right. Runfish says, can we modify the clips? Yeah, I mean, if it's done tastefully. Bruise and Hacks, the story about attack on UK preschools last week compelled me to volunteer pro bono. I don't know what they will agree to let me do, but thoughts on how I can document it. So Bruise and Hacks, are you saying for like a portfolio type stuff? As far as helping them goes, I mean, I definitely think it's great. You know, I would, what I would do, Bruce, I mean, this is me like, you know, off the cuff, like pretending we're having a beer. What I would do is I would, you know, obviously I would help them. I would look for exposure, you know, some things you can configure, some awareness training, stuff like that. But as far as documenting it goes, I would actually use it as a playbook. Like, hey, here's what I did. Here's what worked. Here's how I communicated it. Make it a playbook. And then do 2 things. One, the group that you're volunteering for, give it to them and say, hey, share this if you can. Share this with other schools that you have relationships with, because they have a network, I'm sure, of other schools that are similar to them that would benefit from this, and make sure you put your contact information in this. Okay. Again, you're just trying to help them. You're not trying to like drum up work. Help them and then put it on LinkedIn or social media. Have the resource as a download somewhere, right? On your personal website, your personal blog, your GitHub, whatever. And then post and share about it. Like, hey, here's this horrible story. Here's how I helped. Here's how you can help. Here's the resources, right? So Bruce and Hacks, right? Core Simply Cyber value, empower. You could empower other people to be able to volunteer and help organizations in their area. Or if a school sees it, they can just scoop up the resources. Maybe it's an IT person who's overwhelmed with work. They can do that, right? So that's how I would do it immediately. Zach Morrison. By the way, I'm not sure if this is the same Zach Morrison, but if it is the one who just had a new addition to his family, congratulations. I saw it on social media. I think it's you. Just had a new baby. If I'm mistaken, then there's somebody similar to you that's got a baby. So is it hard to get into IT if you struggle with troubleshooting? That's a fair question. Yes. I mean, it's a skill that can be taught, but like basically, Zach, in IT and cyber, you're going to encounter new problems, right? So having some type of like workflow, like you walk up to a computer and it's not working, right? Like you don't just go, oh, it's not working, I guess I'll just go find another computer. You crack open a command shell and you ping Google, right? See if you got network connectivity, start sorting it out, figuring it out. That's troubleshooting. So, you know, I don't want to discourage you, but I do think troubleshooting and thinking through problems and trying to like eliminate known causes is like a foundational, IT kind of workflow. I would love people's thoughts on this. It's a very straightforward, fair question. Felipe says, Sec Plus, CISA Plus, Bachelor's in Cyber, internship, no prior IT experience, trying to get into Blue, thinking about focusing on GRC. Do you think I can land a job? Yes, absolutely. Those are all great foundational pieces. You need to network and build relationships, Felipe. Right now, the job market is horrible. A lot of people are getting apathetic and discouraged. Relationship building, the fact that you're into Blue or GRC, obviously gives you wider reach, wider opportunity. I would recommend having a GRC focused resume and a SOC analyst resume, two separate ones that feature highlights that deliver on you delivering the specifics impact for those roles. But definitely, oh my God, man. I have a pocket knife. And the pocket knife clips on the back of my pants, and my earbud cable thing keeps clicking in and ripping on my ear. It's annoying. Yeah, so just have those two, and then do all the things, right? I just gave a keynote at B-Sides Greenville that like literally explains like a 45-minute answer to this question. I don't know, Devin, is B-Sides Greenville keynote? Do we know or Code Brew, is that going to be available on replay? Let me know. I'd love to share that with you, Felipe. Great solid start though. S. Cole, is it appropriate to reach out to LinkedIn connections who work for a company I've applied to? Yeah, I mean, I would do it very tastefully, right? I wouldn't reach out and be like, can you help me? I'd be like, hey, person, just applied to a job I saw at your company. Would love to just get your thoughts on company culture or your thoughts of, I wouldn't make it about the job and how to be better at it. I would almost approach it more about like, what are your opinions and what are your thoughts, right? So I don't think it's inappropriate. I may not reach like, I don't know, like whether or not I'd reach out to the CISO directly. I don't know. To me, it shows initiative, right? I mean, if you're hounding them like every day, hey, respond to my DMs, that's a problem. But like just networking, I don't think that's bad. All right. So Google Forms. Tanara Burke Lloyd says, use the Google form. You could put your episode, the link and the times. Well, I don't want to do the timestamps because I don't have the time to go pull all these. That's why I was suggesting that people can put clips in. So I think what I will do is a Google form, and you can have a description field and then a URL to the clip you've clipped. We can go that way. So I don't know when I'm going to put a Google form together. I know that takes like 2 seconds, but FedEx isn't going to be able to make it to Simply CyberCon. That's a bummer. If you are speaking at Simply CyberCon, you will be getting communication very soon. We're doing a speaker event on Sunday. It is all but firm at this point. Rhonda Rummerfield's actually helping me coordinate that. So you'll be getting a note from me and her pretty soon. So look forward to that. I mean, whatever. We're doing a boat cruise for the speakers. It's time to upskill. What emerging tech should cyber professionals be learning? AI, for sure. Use AI, agentic AI to do your job better, AI to find, vulnerabilities better, like AI. Can we do a community fundraiser? Oh yeah, no. It's okay, Alice. It's okay. I appreciate that. That's okay. That's not why I said it. I'm okay. The reality is I actually, when I budgeted, for the conference, I thought training would sell significantly better, which is where I thought a lot of the money was going to come from to pay for the conference, and it didn't. It's okay, honestly, guys. It's a coincidence, but I'm partnering with Cisco for Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and I'm doing like a whole month. It starts next Monday. I'm doing a lot of things with Cisco. And that contract I got with them will basically offset the expenses that the conference that I'm having to absorb for the conference. So it's okay. I don't want to tell you guys about like my 2 solutions for next year until after the conference is over, because I want to be on the other side of it and reflect retrospectively. All right. Sean Sailors, is there an easy way to determine if a recruiter is real? I mean, maybe a phone call. It's not easy. I mean, social engineering, it can be a whole thing. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have a great answer to this question. Maybe if, do a phone call, do a meet and greet, do a telcon, you know what I mean? Like if it's a bot or whatever, they're not going to bother having a call with you. I mean, if they're going to go through all the trouble to deep fake and stuff like that, I don't know. You'd have to suss it out a little bit differently. DC Sanchez, new to cyber, passed my Sec Plus. What would you recommend to study for next? So DC Sanchez, Sec Plus is a great cert. It kind of knocks out some HR gateways. I wouldn't sweat certs now. I mean, it depends on what job you want, but I would get pretty comfortable with networking and networking concepts, right? IP addressing, DNS, the way computers talk to each other. Study that stuff. I would also get familiar with like the cyber kill chain, MITRE attack, just kind of the TTPs of threat actors. So you're familiar with like those concepts and more importantly, the terminology and stuff like that. Yeah. And then obviously build relationships and network. That's so valuable right now. Discord channel for that could be good, Sierra. That way people could talk about it. Although I think it could get busy. I don't know what Riker's talking about. If it's the cruise, no. We have there's a firm head count on how many people we can stick on the boat, and it's close to the number of speakers we have. So it's a speaker event. I don't even think I'm going to be able to go. Helping somebody who got scammed of 15 grand in 2 months. I did OSINT using bank details and pin down scammers' location. How can I use this scenario in my portfolio? I mean, you got to make the decision. I mean, you're going to be going public with pissing off criminals, right? So just, be mindful of that risk. But if it were me, I would do a blog post, how I caught scammers who stole 15 grand. That's the title of the post, and have a blog post, maybe make a YouTube video about it. Does cyber have entry-level roles? No, not really. They have junior roles. I mean, there are roles that are considered the early part of people's careers, but entry level into cyber, and the term entry level typically would denote that like you can just be trained whatever you need and you don't need any pre-existing knowledge. With cyber, you do need to understand IT fundamentals, cybersecurity fundamentals, right? So if you want like a real hard answer to this, I'll give you it. Simply CyberCon John Strand keynote. John Strand was the keynote of our very, very first Simply CyberCon. So he was actually the keynote speaker, the first speaker. And this is this talk right here. Is cybersecurity entry-level role. Is cybersecurity entry-level role hard truths from John Strand, okay? Taekwon Gong and other people, this is the answer to that question in great detail. All right, I just linked that into chat. We're going until 9:30, so we're halfway through. All right, I do want to say quick shout out. If you didn't know, today is the first day of CairoSec officially being open for business. CairoSec, pen testing firm, Tyler Ramsby, and I. What? There it is. So CairoSec, October 1st is day one. Tyler is the principal security consultant. I'm director of strategy. And we're doing the thing here. So if you need any pen testing, CairoSec is where you want to sniff around. Congratulations, Tyler, by the way. Huge, huge accomplishment. What jobs in cyber have a lot of Linux involved? Well, pen testers do a lot of Linux. They almost exclusively use Linux. I think that would be like the number one job. I mean, SOC analysts maybe would be like looking in logs for Linux type commands and stuff like that. So that could certainly be it. But I think if you were going to pin one job where you're like driving Linux all day, every day, it would be that. Also, I mean, if you're working in like specialized environments that are using like real-time operating systems and stuff like that, that could be a lot of Linux type stuff. Being old, how many years should I show on my resume so I don't get aged? That's a good question. You know what I like to do on my resume, David and everybody? This is a cool tip. Like, I think this is a cool trick. What I like to do is I like to include like my last few roles, and then, and I do this more so I can fit my resume on one page or 2 pages after a certain period. Like, let's say I go back to, the university I worked at, the hospital, right? Before that, you know, I had Booz Allen for 6 years. I had several jobs before that, software engineer back in the early 2000s, right? So all I have is, I have like, I forget how I phrase it, but it basically says prior to this, or prior work experience, right? So I have like, I kind of have a catch-all bucket for prior work experience. And then I just have a couple bullet points that are specifically value add to the role I'm going for. So I don't really state that I was a software engineer at this company and did this thing. I'll just say a bullet of like developed enterprise apps in a model view controller paradigm for the US federal government, right? So like, it's a good way to capture that prior experience without having all those dates and stuff like that. And if I didn't, David, let me know if I did not explain that well, and I'll do a better job of doing it. But that's what I do, and I think it's a good move. Any hypothesis why this course has 1.4 MIO enrolled? I don't know what that means. Sorry, Runfish. Felipe, having sex CISA Plus, thinking about getting Net Plus and after Blue Team level 1s for more hands-on. So Blue Team level 1 for sure. Net Plus, Felipe, I always say this, get the knowledge that you would need to pass Net Plus, but you don't need to spend the money on the certification. Nobody's moving your resume to the top of the pile if you have Net Plus. But knowing what the knowledge is, that will help you get the job. What kind of issues should I expect in my cyber role with the government shutdown? I don't know what your current cyber role is, the Aussie B. Are you working in government? Are you working for a private sector company that works with the government? Like, I can't answer this question because there's not enough information for me to understand how government shutdown would affect you. Looking. Here we go. Runfish. What does Cisco's free networking basic course have 1.4 million enrollments? Is it really that good or just Cisco name? Oh, it's probably, I mean, it's been around for a while. Cisco is, pretty legit in the networking space. So I think that's why. Plus it's free.
Straight cash, homie.
Kairos, I believe it's Greek for grateful or thankful or something. It's definitely Greek. Tyler would have to. Oh, or maybe it's the perfect moment. Yeah, Kairos is a propitious moment for decision or action. Tyler came up with the name. Alex says, where do you guys go during your day to keep on top of everything going on in the cyber world? The Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief. I mean, I have all sorts of feeds personally. I mean, I live, breathe, eat, love cybersecurity. Oh, for those who are currently subscribed to the Simply Cyber Telegram channel, I think I'm going to shut that down. Just emotionally prepare yourselves. I'm paying like X amount a month for Zapier to run that thing, and I need to start converging on expenses. Looking at chat right now, what we're doing, if you're just joining us, is answering questions. So put a Q in front of it and ask your question. I have 20 years of experience in industry, and I love helping people. Whale, do you think GRC will be around for a while? If not, what's your thoughts on next steps? Yeah, no, GRC is definitely around. If anything, the question should be, is current skill sets for GRC enough to last the evolution? I had AJ Yan on last week. I was talking to him. I believe he's accurate. I think GRC engineering is kind of the evolution of GRC analyst. As you get more cloud systems and stuff like that, more infrastructure as code, stuff as code, being able to audit those things at scale is going to be super valuable. So knowing how to write Python scripts, knowing how to engage with like Terraform and, this kind of these infrastructure pieces is going to be important to be an effective auditor. So I do think that's the deal. But yeah, for sure, GRC, dude, GRC, like the C in GRC is compliance. At a minimum, Whale, businesses will always have to comply. And how do they show that? They need somebody doing the work to prove that they're compliant. So yeah, GRC we're rock solid. WG question, currently finishing my AAS in IT and cyber. A+. Ooh, I just got lightheaded. Bunch of certs with diverse home lab experience, wants to get into blue AI. Is a PhD worth pursuing for someone like me? All right. I'm going to tell you a couple things here. I did not expect the question to go in that direction. One of my very first YouTube videos, and it holds today. Oh, come on. Wait a minute. I have a video called PhD Truths. Mods, would you mind, Justin or Dan, can someone grab my PhD Truths YouTube video? It's from like 2019, 2020. Here's what I'll say, WG. Number one, a PhD can help you get a job, but you don't need a PhD to get a job in cybersecurity. The amount of time, energy, and effort to get one is like 5 years, right? If you're speed running it, you might be able to do it in 3 years, but that's incredibly aggressive. You don't like when I got my PhD, I defended my dissertation on Friday. I got my PhD. I showed up on Monday at work. Hey, I'm Dr. Gerald Auger now. I didn't get a pay raise. I didn't get a new job. If anything, I got given more work at the same rate. Oh, thank you. So, and it didn't open new job opportunities for me. So the other thing I would say, and this is probably number one for everybody in chat who's thinking about getting a PhD, unless you are absolutely passionate about the topic, do not do it, because you're going to commit. I committed 5 years to my PhD. Dude, if you're not into it, that shine's going to wear off real quick, and then you're going to loathe doing that work. There's a reason a lot of people start PhDs and don't finish. I'm not saying that's you. I'm just telling you, like, I want you to walk into this eyes wide open, like Nicole Kidman. Okay, here's 39-year-old Jerry, PhD truths. This is the video. I break it down. I dispel a lot of myths. If you're interested in getting a PhD, and WG, I would recommend you check this video out as well. I'll tag you in chat right now. WG on. Here's the video. So anyways, I would rather you, if your goal is to get a job in cybersecurity, I would spend 3 to 5 years, like, networking, doing industry stuff, getting practical skills, portfolio, stuff like that. It's a huge commitment. In fact, I think I say in the video, I would only get a PhD if you truly want it for yourself, not to get a better job. I'm in this new GRC role, but I realize I have a lot of time on my hands since I'm not in the SOC. Masters in cyber worth it. So I have a master's in information assurance. I don't think it really disrupted the apple cart. It depends on what your goals are, right? So a lot of times to get into management, like director, CISO, we're seeing like less of this now, but it's still, a lot of it still exists. So like greater than 50%. You need a master's to get into senior management. Okay. So if you have the time, I would get a master's in cybersecurity, right? It's going to get you exposure to other practitioners who are at that level. It's going to get you exposure to the faculty. And if they're adjunct, they work in industry. So you have a baked in opportunity to demonstrate your excellence to them, maybe lead to a new job. 3, if you got the time, invest in yourself, be the CEO of you. And that's a great way to do it. Space Tacos likes Kairos. Felipe says, going to Cyber Bay in Tampa. Don't know anybody. What tips do you have for me in order to network with people and maybe talking about a first opportunity? Well, first of all, Felipe, what I would recommend you do is go to the Simply Cyber Discord, which you can go to simplycyber.io/Discord and say, hey, I'm going to Cyber Bay in Tampa these dates. Is anyone else going to the conference? Like, we should connect at the conference. So like by doing the work up front, that like I went to B-Sides Greenville last week. I knew Devin was going there. I knew Code Brew was going there. I didn't know John Hoyt was going there, but I'm friends with him already. So by knowing people there, you already have like a built-in thing to do when you're there. Maybe you even connect with them and like go to a similar talk. They can introduce you to the people they know. All right. Secondly, I would recommend, I don't know if you have a website or something, Felipe, but having a quick, easy way to connect with someone, like, oh, hey, you can go, like for me, you can go to simplycyber.io/socials and get all my information. Also another power move. Okay. There's my son. The LinkedIn app. Okay. So the LinkedIn app, right? So you got the LinkedIn app right here. Well, if you click on search at the top, you see this like little QR looking thing here. If you click it, you can easily connect with someone on LinkedIn. This is like built into the app. So like you talk to someone, you're like, hey, like, oh, like I'm Felipe. I do these things. Oh, that's cool. Hey, we should connect and continue the conversation or whatever. Open the LinkedIn app, hit the search bar, hit your QR code, let them scan it. Okay. Very, very easy way to build relationships. Okay. Good luck. All right. It's 9:30. I got to get out of here. Got a ton of work to do. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Guys, if we didn't get to your question, come back tomorrow. Genuinely appreciate all of you. I hope you guys got good value from the jaw jacking. I do it as a service because I can't do one-on-one mentoring. I can't respond to DMs, and it eats at me. But this is my solution: mentoring at scale through jaw jacking. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Have a wonderful Wednesday. I think we have a stream right now. Hold on. Is 2 Cyber Chicks streaming? Hold on one second. Yes, we have a premiere going on right now. Look at this. 2 Cyber Chicks. Boom. You thought the value train was done? Haha. Think again, my friend. Let's go over and raid 2 Cyber Chicks. Erica and Jax talking AI agents. If you want to know some stuff about AI and AI agents, allow 2 Cyber Chicks, Jax and Erica, to whisk you away. Good luck. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm Jerry. This is Simply Cyber, all about good times. I'll see you in the